Wave.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, everyone watch.
Lady Gaga, November 2011 interview with The Sun, when asked what she looks for in a man, famously stated, a big dick. A statement like this may be somewhat shocking now, but over 10 years ago, this interview was just one of thousands of headlines involving the pop star's shocking antics. Breaking out with her platinum single Just Dance in 2005, Lady Gaga has revealed herself to be more than a pop star of global proportions, but rather a multifaceted phenomenon that has tilted world culture off its axis. Not only is her music and costumes and movies widely popular, her use of popularity extends to the individual and the rebounds in a stadium with fans acquiescing every command. As one of the most recognizable figures in the world, to understand Lady Gaga is to understand the relevance of her social impact on queer rights, a century-old spiritual rejuvenation of intrinsic self-worth, and political messaging within and outside the music industry. Today, I will first introduce her call for attention with the use of pop music, intersected with theatrical and queer modes of presentation. Second, employing her worldwide fame to implore intrinsic self-value within her fans, lending to a surge on the queer rights movement. And finally, her contribution to the radical change of the American status quo in the past 15 years of her career. To start, Lady Gaga arrived in the music industry to command as much attention as possible. She certainly made music that was pop and achieved 3 #1 singles from her debut album, The Fame, released in 2008. Just only a year before, the first iPhone had been released, launching the handheld internet user. Image was about to be more important than ever, and what separated Gaga from her counterparts was not just how she sounded, but also what she looked like, what she wore, and what she did. Dr. Juliet Williams, UCLA Department of Gender Studies, Los Angeles, writes in Same DNA but Born This Way, Lady Gaga and the possibility of post-existentialist feminisms, that Gaga stands as an important contemporary figure in the expression of queer identity in terms of the perverse, the misshapen, and the obtruse. Gaga may be a symptom of our times, but her persona is not new. She has emerged from a lineage of artists whose performances are characterized by bodily access to extent of the grotesque and the freakish, like Larry Bauer and David Bowie's Ziggy Stardust. This type of queer, strange, big dick answering behavior not only invites but commands curiosity, conversation, clicks, and views. Often wearing sexually suggestive clothing, Gaga has been seen devouring a crucifix, kissing women and transsexuals, and most imperative, saying and doing whatever she wants. This divisive behavior combined with intense popularity around much controversy, debate, and condemnation, which in turn invited more conversations about the pop star. Billboard.com of June 1st, 2010 quotes a Westboro Baptist Church, "Go, devil spawn, you just keep pushing onto hell where you will forever burn." In 2012, she faced protesters outside nearly every venue she performed for a worldwide Born This Way tour. In fact, she was banned from performing in the Philippines, Thailand, and Jakarta. Middle America was divisive on her antics as well. Adam Geske and Vicky Caraminas write in Lady Gaga, American Horror Story, Fashion, Monstrosity, and the Grotesque, that Gaga, like Alice Cooper or Bowie, isn't a gender outsider. She markets deviance to Middle America, making true transgression safe for prime time, while simultaneously gene-splicing a little mutant culture into the mainstream. Ergo, she is threatening because she is powerful. Now that we review the standard Gaga has set for herself and the viewer, we can observe how she commands her popularity and intrigue through 2 notes of profession. 1, a timeless inspiration of self-love, and 2, applying that message to marginalized communities. First, most major religions carry a similar message, one that Gaga also projects. In May 2018 in Dharamshala, India, the spiritual leader of Tibet, His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama, urged a oneness of humanity and said all major religious transitions are dedicated to conveying the same message, peace and happiness among all humanity. Lady Gaga, quoted outside a sex club in Berlin 2010, stated, "There's really no religion that doesn't hate or condemn a certain kind of people, and I totally believe in love and forgiveness, but excluding no one." This message of love and forgiveness and self-acceptance is not only prevalent in her lyrics, specifically the Born This Way album, but also the majority of her shows in front of her fans. This is part one of her indoctrination, professing a similar message that most people have heard most of their lives, but in a new and popular environment. Part two, Gaga takes these powerful messages and applies them to the communities that have been ostracized by the same religious, cultural, and governmental institutions that swore to protect them. In a 2012 interview with Fuse, Gaga states, "I feel even just in the music industry that there's very public misogynistic and homophobic behavior. When I hear one of the most famous rappers in the world say something homophobic on the radio, I want people to yell at him. I don't have to say who because they know who they are." It's not just hip-hop. It's everywhere. It's wrong. I'm not trying to create and generate more hatred in the world. I am just trying to create awareness. It's always wrong to hate, but it's never wrong to love. She continues, "I want my fans to love themselves. It's almost like I want to hypnotize them, so when they hear my music, they love themselves instantly." In addition to hundreds of lyrics and quotations, Lady Gaga has created non-profit foundations for queer youth, spoken, shouted, at political rallies regarding the rights of queer people, and upon the national passing of gay marriage, posted on Instagram, "I'm crying, we did it." By aligning herself with her fans, she creates a fierce dedication of fandom that feels ultimately empowered. Upon the release of her fourth #1 single, Born This Way, on February 11th, 2011, Gaga made it clear to anyone who could still be questioning her politics whom she supports. She sings, "No matter gay, straight, or bi, lesbian, transgender rights, I am on the right track, baby. I was born to survive." Gaga had a precarious challenge breaking into mainstream media after the culturally static status quo post 9/11. The galvanization of America First could be argued with the advent of the Patriot Act and the mass rush of volunteers in the military. Lynn Spiegel of Johns Hopkins University, Entertainment Wars, Television After 9/11 writes, "In the weeks following September 11th, the industry exhibited, whether for sincere or cynical reasons, a new will towards tastefulness." The same could be argued for the music industry. No longer would America tolerate a sexy halftime show with Janet Jackson. The country could not handle the Dixie Chicks criticizing President Bush over the Iraq War. Country music no longer yodeled, but rather sang praises of nationalism. Proposition 8 was overturned in California, and hate crimes amongst Muslims were at an all-time high. Though pop idols such as Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears, and Beyonce mainly let their lyrics to surface level, sex-minded, political absent beats, rock and roll maintained a position of raging against the machine. Green Day was born out of 9/11. Lady Gaga took suit and sided with the minorities, the marginalized and oppressed. Additionally, she acted like a rock star. She talked about big dicks, and when questioned about the rumors of her being a man, she stated, "I have a big donkey dick." While many artists have trailblazed this path before her, she was in a unique position of unparalleled power. After the success of her first album in 2010, she screamed outside Capitol Hill in protest against Don't Ask, Don't Tell, specifically naming President Obama to take action. She marched in pride parades, spoke at women's empowerment conferences, held a memorial for the victims of the Pulse shooting. And furthermore, her message was also clear and consistent, and with her political stance, politics itself changed. Gay marriage passed. Trans was no longer a secret word. politics became engaging rather than oppressive. Today we have to take a look at Gaga's meteoric rise to fame, philosophical approach to doing so, and how she tackled the music industry and forced it to change. Melissa A. Lee Hunji and Holly Wilson Holiday state in their 2012 article, Making Monsters, Lady Gaga, Fan Identification and Social Media, many participants focused on one particular salient characteristic of the little monster, identity, the acceptance and endorsement of Lady Gaga's message of empowerment. The music industry certainly changed, but so did the global individual galvanization. Thank you.